Hey you guys, right, bear with me on this. Bit of a roundabout thing. We'll get to where I want to be. You can read the title. Um, I was gonna do the exact opposite of this. I was gonna do a video titled "I'm not exciting, I am boring," stuff like that, because I'd convinced myself that I wasn't an exciting human being. Um, the things that it's a little bit of a contradiction, but I was convinced that the things that I enjoy doing were boring. Make that make sense. And I've tried to document my mental health over the years. This was obviously a bit of a low point. It does sort of show in the content that I put out. You can kind of tell that it's a bit low effort, more so than usual. Um, and it's an odd one because I have that much variety in the things that I enjoy and the things that I've actually put on YouTube. The variety, the breadth of things that I've done, it's quite a lot. So I wasn't falling into a rut of doing the same thing over and over and over. I could chop and change, do what I like, but I just couldn't put any excitement or energy into it. So rather than quit YouTube, which I thought about doing, I took a break. And then that break got longer and longer and longer. And I've been trying to make videos over the last few months. But I'll get partway through the filming process or partway through the editing process, and it'll just be like, well, this is garbage. Nobody's going to want to watch this. And then that added to the idea of me not being an exciting human being. And then this morning happened. Woke up, did my usual morning routine, and then decided to clean my chainsaw, which on the surface doesn't sound that exciting. But then while I was doing it, while I was sitting there, scrubbing all the old junk off, re-greasing everything, putting it back together, it's only a 14-15 inch electric one, so it's not like I had to rebuild an engine or anything. But just cleaning the chain and getting it re-greased, getting it resat, and bolting it all back together, fairly therapeutic. But it got me thinking, it's like there's not that many people that know how to do this. There's not that many people that I'm aware of that own chainsaws. I actually have two. And then it's just like, wait. I've been convinced I'm boring. I've been convinced I'm not exciting. I know how to maintain a chainsaw. I know how to ride a motorbike. I collect and rebuild Lego. I'm not boring. If anything, the amount of stuff that I do, I'm physically and mentally capable of doing them. It's not boring. I used to look at my father because all he'd do is sit there and either watch TV or read because of his physical capability. I'm like, well, that's a bit boring, but it's not. He's literally engaging his brain through, works of fiction, watching TV. It's not boring. Just because from an outside perspective it looks boring doesn't mean it's boring to you. And I think that was something that I was really struggling with up until this morning, up until like 6.5, 7 hours ago. And it's caught me off guard a little bit. That's why I'm suddenly wanting to make a video, because it's just like, well, I've just had this sort of epiphany that I'm not boring after all. In fact, I wanted to do a video saying I was boring, and ironically, in a video that was going to be like, yeah, I'm boring, I wanted to do a musical number. I have no musical talent, but I wanted to do that. And it's just like, well, that's not boring either. You're putting a musical number in a video about being boring. And that's where I kind of almost get to the point. There's probably a word for it or a term. I'm not a psychologist, but I can't quite put my finger on what the idea is. But hopefully, you get the general scope of the idea. Is that just because from the outside looking in, it looks boring, doesn't mean it is. You know, and it's. I think yeah, because that then would mean it doesn't particularly make good content, or it means I couldn't make good content of it. I think that's the other thing. It's like cleaning a chainsaw. I know I can't make that good content, but I guarantee out there is somebody who has made a video of them cleaning and servicing a chainsaw, and it's really good. And that was something I was struggling with. And that's why I sort of went away from YouTube for a bit. You know, and it's not like I've ever done regular uploads or anything. You know, it's but this was a very very long time of not making anything, and it was because I was convinced, or I was in that much of a headspace where I'd make something and it would be to me boring. I have 200 subscribers, 220-ish subscribers. That's 200 people who think I'm not boring, who think I'm engaging enough to want to see my stuff. I might get 40, 50 video views on a video. I might get 1,000 views on a video. Doesn't matter. That's people that are engaging with my stuff because they don't think it's boring. And it took me till today to figure that out because I was cleaning a chainsaw. It's a weird thing to come to terms with, to suddenly go, oh, wait a sec, yeah. Because, as I say, I was convinced I was boring. I was dead set that I was not exciting, and that's why the numbers, for me and honest, it was like, oh, you got 40 people watch that instead of 1,000. Got 220 subscribers instead of 100,000. So what? It would be it would be lovely to be monetized on YouTube. It's probably never going to happen. But there are still 220 people out there that want to watch my stuff, which is why they click the button. And I need to get that in my head. You have no idea. I mean, I was amazed when I hit my first 10 subscribers. And then when I hit 100 subscribers, I was like, really? And now I'm at 220? That's amazing. I'm in my late 40s. I started making YouTube because I wanted somewhere to put some stuff that I had ideas for. And I've got 220 people that want to watch my stuff regularly. And I've got some videos are in the thousands. That's not boring by any stretch of the imagination. And it struck me today that has been my mindset for nearly the last year. And then today, while doing something as mundane as cleaning a chainsaw and servicing a chainsaw, has made me go, wait. My mindset has completely flipped in the last 8 hours. And it's not a small thing to figure out. And it's taken me, I think this must be the 30th, 40th go of trying to record this. But if you've watched any of my content, you'll know that I don't like editing. I like to do these all in one go, one sitting. Just get it out. And if I make a flub or if I lose the plot of where I'm going, I just restart. So I've been trying to do this now for like 7 hours, 6, 7 hours, something like that. I actually went and took an hour break because my brain just was like tired of repeating the same points. I made notes I don't usually make notes when it comes to the videos, but it's just because I wanted to make a point of having a set of things that I wanted to say. You know, and it's just weird to get my head around that. You know, having spent such a long time being convinced that I was not an exciting person, to then go, wait, with my ability and my skill set and the knowledge that I have of things, that does not make me boring. It, from an outside perspective, to certain people, it might appear to be boring, but to me, it isn't. So I think the general takeaway is that it doesn't matter what your ability is, what your capability is, what your skill levels are, anything like that. It's just as long as you know that what you can do and what you know isn't boring. Yeah. So I've got a week off work at the moment, and I've set myself a list of 8 things, 8 very small things, and I've already done 2 of them today, and it's like, okay, that might be the only thing I do today, but it's still something, and it's just trying to get little things done, like cleaning the chainsaw. It took me 25 minutes, but I've been meaning to do it for 6 months. And then because I've done it, I think knowing that I've got it done, and then the realization that that is a skill that not everybody has. It's quite profound. And again, there is probably a psychological or psychiatric term for that, but I don't know it off the top of my head, which is why I keep having to redo these videos, because it's like I almost get to the point, but then I don't. So yeah. So what does this mean going forward? Well, basically it means that I'm going to be a lot more selective on what I video. I am going to restart doing YouTube, definitely. But I'm going to be a lot more selective about it. I think the idea of starting something and then realizing it's junk and binning it, it works. But I need to be a lot more sort of open minded about what is junk. Like I've been trying to make videos, and some of it's been really good, but then I'll hit a point and I'm like, this is junk, and then I scrap the entire thing. Whereas what I should be doing is cutting it, going away for a bit, do something else, then come back to it. Editing exists. I don't like doing it, which is why the quality of my videos is never great. But it is something that is doable, you know. So rather than just scrapping a video from the off, I'll be halfway through something and be like, nah, this is junk. And then the thing that's half finished sits there because I'm never going to go near it. No, what I need to do is, rather than just deleting, keep the content and then just go back to it maybe a few weeks later. So, yeah, I think I got to be more realistic about what I do put on YouTube, because I know, as I say, the last handful of videos have been insanely low effort, and I don't just mean quality. I mean the actual stuff I was doing because of my mindset. So definitely going to be a bit more careful. Don't know what the wording is, but yeah, take a bit more care. That's what I was thinking. Take a bit more care about what I actually do record, and then rather than junking it off, put it away. Try again later. I think that's where I'm going to head. Yeah. Anyway, long and the short, I was cleaning a chainsaw and had a realization that my life isn't boring. That's the TLDR. Yeah, right. That's 15 minutes. It's about right, isn't it? All right. See you later. Ta-da.